Hi everyone. So tonight I thought we would chat a little bit about stocking your pantry and saving money doing so. Our pantry is probably my great big security blanket. I know that regardless of what life kind of tosses at us, at least that one area we're covered for a while. We have food in the pantry. We've got the staples that help us get through the day, like shampoo and dish detergent and toilet paper, to last for quite a while. So if anything should happen, those are expenses that we don't have to worry about very much. But I see a lot of people concerned about getting by day to day and week to week, and feeling like they don't have what they need to start stocking a pantry, to have that backup system. It's one of the basic necessities to survive. We have to have food, and preferably, I hope, healthy food. So I thought I'd talk tonight about how we manage to stock our pantry without clipping any coupons. And it kind of took my brain in a few different ways. And so I thought I'd just run through a list that Phil and I kind of worked up together here and discuss it a little bit, just bits and pieces. So our biggest thing is we don't clip coupons, ever. We just don't clip coupons. Don't have the time, don't have the desire, and we don't normally buy just one thing. You know, when we buy it, we normally buy a quantity of them so that we don't have to go buy it again. And getting that many coupons for one thing is just not something that we can devote that kind of time to. But we do buy on sale. So if we are out and about and we catch a sale paper and we see that something that we do use, an ingredient or an item, is on sale, we don't just buy to get through the week. We look at the money that we've got and we figure out, okay, we were only planning on spending $50 on groceries for the week, but this is on sale, and maybe if we tweak this or tweak that, or don't do this or don't do that, then maybe we can spend $20 and stock up on this one item. I'm going to come back to the mushroom soup because that's just the easiest thing for me to do, because it's convenient. That mushroom soup goes on sale probably 3-4 times a year, and it's typically $1.90 for a family-sized can. It's that big can. It's like 26 ounces or something. But 3-4 times a year it goes on sale for $1.09. That's a big savings. That's almost half. And so because that is an ingredient in different things that we use, and because Phil does enjoy eating that, that is something that I want to make sure that we always have on hand. So when I see it go on sale, I rearrange the budget so that I can put $20 towards that soup. I can go get 20 cans or 19 cans, whatever the case may be, so that we can have those, and that's something that, again, I don't have to think about moving forward for a little while. So you want to keep an eye on those sale papers. If you're lucky enough to have some place that, or multiple places around you that do sales, that's great. We have very limited options, and I don't typically want to spend half an hour getting to some place in order to go grocery shopping or to purchase the things we need. So we do plan trips, and we budget and save money for special bulk purchases. The other one is buying in bulk. Okay, so one, buy things on sale, and two, when they are on sale, or even when they're not, make plans for purchasing in bulk. We go probably twice a year to a town about an hour south of us that has a wonderful meat market, and we keep an eye on their sale papers, and we kind of budget towards it, but we mainly just budget towards a time of year. So in the fall and typically in the spring, we will make a trip there, and when we do, it is 50 pounds of chicken, and it is 30 pounds of ground beef, and it is normally a thing of New York strips that we have them cut so that we can vacuum seal two per package and put them in the freezer. And we've got steak and ground beef and chicken stocked up for a minimum of 6 months. The pork we normally don't mess with because we raise our own pork, But you can, we could also get pork there if we wanted. And the prices are typically better because they are selling intentionally in bulk. So if you were just buying, a couple pounds, it would normally cost you, say, $1.89. But if you're buying in 10-pound lots, then it's $1.69. And it's worth the hour drive there and the hour drive back to buy a bulk package like that, if you're doing it in quantity. If I were just going down there to get 10 pounds of chicken, it would be a complete waste of gas and time. You're better off just paying a little higher price right there in town, because by the time you add in the cost of gas, and I am guilty of valuing my time at a very high dollar amount. I have a lot of things that I want to do and a lot of places I want to be. And so my time is worth a high dollar amount when I'm figuring out prices like that. So buying in bulk, buying in sale, and then if you can, canning some of it. Okay, when we do go and get that 50 pounds of chicken, typically about 30 pounds of that is destined right for jars. I'm going to put it right into jars. The ground beef, I'm starting to put more and more into jars because that's the way that we use it, and it's easy and it's convenient and it's shelf stable. And so the vegetables in the garden, I've got tomato sauce for quite a while now, thanks to this year. This was a very good year for us for tomatoes when I didn't think it would be. So, we stick it in jars and we make sure that we've got it. It's like money in the bank. But you don't do it all at once. That's the key, okay? We raise what we can. Not everybody has that option, and I understand that. But you do what you can to raise what food that you're able to. We're able to do meat chickens. We're able to do pigs. We are looking at getting into rabbits this year, and we're possibly still kind of looking at turkeys. I don't know, maybe not till next year. But we raise what we can, or we know where it's raised nearby with friends that we have. And so that helps us fill our freezer also. Meal planning is a big part of this also. And it's a practice that takes a little while to get used to. But by planning out your meals, you know what you need, you know what you're going to use, you know what you're going to spend, and you can base it off of either what you have in the freezer and the pantry, or you can base it off the sales, or a combination of both, so that maybe you could stock up a little bit more in the pantry. Meal planning is a really, really helpful tool for saving money on groceries. The last one that I can really think of is that stop eating out. Yep, it's just that simple. And you're talking to a 20-plus year veteran of the restaurant business, okay? And I'm going to tell you that if you want to save money on food, stop eating out. At no time ever are you going to save money by eating out. It's not going to happen. By meal planning, you can actually avoid any last-minute angst about getting food into your family. If you meal plan and you set up for it and you prepare for it, and that takes maybe an hour or two on the weekend, then you're covered for the entire week, and there are no surprises. There are no last-minute, let's run through this restaurant, or let's run through that, or let's, go buy some kind of pizza or something. That's probably the biggest thing that we can recommend for saving money where food is concerned. In 2016, you can probably count on one hand the number of times that we went out to get something to eat. And they were planned, okay? In 2017, we're breaking tradition a little bit here, and by the end of the month, unfortunately, we will have gone out 3 times to eat. One was my work gathering, and we do it every year. And then 2 is going to be lunch with a friend of ours, and then 3 is going to be another work gathering. And they're planned. They're not going to cost us a whole lot of money, but they're going to cost us more than what it would cost to feed ourselves at home. So that's probably the number one, is stop going out to eat. Start eating what's in your house, even if it's not super convenient, okay? But you can take precautions to make it more convenient for yourself. And it's all a choice. You have to choose to do it. So don't eat out. Start making a menu plan. If you can, raise what you can, grow what you can to eat. Gardens are great. I know they only last for a little while, but every little bit that you can grow or raise yourself will save you money in the long run, okay? Canning what you grow or raise, or even what you purchase. I work with our farmer's market, one of the vendors at our farmer's market, and he knows that I'm going to be coming to get 2 cases of mushroom every spring. And anytime that, you know, I go there, he knows that I'm buying in bulk, and he gets me a really good deal. That's how I save money on mushrooms. That's how I save money on green beans. That's how I save money on corn, is because he knows that I'm coming there to purchase large quantities, and we get a price break for it. Buying in bulk, that ties right in there, okay? And then buying on sale. It's possible if, and I'm just going to pull kielbasa. Let's say kielbasa, okay? Kielbasa will go on sale 2 for $5. And you have that extra $2.50, okay? You're not going to eat it this week, but get the second one. Throw it in the freezer, and you've got it for later. If you have $10 extra, get 2 extra and throw them in the freezer. Just know that eventually you're going to come back around to it. I hope this kind of makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but it's possible. It is absolutely possible to save money and stock a pantry at the same time. And I see a lot of people doing it, and I see a lot of people questioning how it can be done. It takes a little bit of work, and anything worth doing typically does take a little bit of work, okay? Let's see, the kids moved out in June, I think June 1st, and at that time we probably had 40% of what we have in our pantry right now. The other 60% we worked on getting in the last 6 months of the year. We worked on putting it together, accumulating it, budgeting for it. You don't just turn around one day and go buy $156 worth of toilet paper, okay? You plan for it. You find out how much it's going to cost, and then you look at your budget and figure out what you can do to make it happen. Now, you also don't have to buy 2 years worth of toilet paper at once, you guys. But you can buy a little bit more than what you need, so that you can put it up in the pantry so that it is there in case of an emergency. And that's what it is. The pantry is like a great big working emergency fund. I'm having a lot of fun figuring out how long we can go without actually purchasing anything. I have discovered that I'm probably going to have to buy some cheese. Yeah. We definitely didn't have enough cheese on hand for the entire month. And so cheese is going to be something that we buy. I still think that we're going to be able to do this for under $50 for the month of January. That we'll be able to only spend under $50 for food in the month of January by doing this pantry challenge and only using what we have on hand. And goodness knows we are not starving. We are not suffering. And it's all because we took some time earlier this year to stock that up and make sure that it was there. You can do it. I mean, it took us probably a total of 2 years. If you're to look at the fact that we do use what we stick in the pantry on a regular basis, it probably took us close to 2 years to get everything that's in there in the way that we have it, okay, so that things are rotating through. If we have a little bit of soup left over, I can it, because we're not going to throw it out, but we can use it later. So it just builds up slowly and gradually, and that's why the pressure canner never gets put away, because we're constantly putting something into jars. So don't expect to do it all at once. Expect that it's going to take a minimum of a couple of years. And if there's more than 2 of you, it probably will take you a couple of years, unless you have a whole bunch of income coming in, you know. But if you're the average Joe, and I seem to be seeing a bunch of families with, one person staying home, one person working, and so that does reduce the income that you have, but it's still very doable. It's still very doable. You just have to plan for it a little bit and understand that it's going to take some time. It's very helpful if your partner is into it also. Okay, I'm very lucky that Phil is very aware of what we're doing. He participates in it. He always looks for those really good deals, and he totally gets it. That's it. Even if he didn't do another thing, he just totally gets it, and he goes, go for it. That's a really, really important part, is to, if you've got other people in the house, to try to get them on board with doing it also. So that is how we save money on groceries without clipping coupons. If you've got any other suggestions, I would love to hear them. I look like I've got a cat coming out of the top of my head, or that he's eating the top of my head. So, breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's all here. And it's all things that we have stocked up on, raised, grown, thrown in jars, thrown in the freezer, dehydrated. That's how we save money on food. If you have any other suggestions or ideas, I would love to hear about them. Freeze drying is a little out of my price range. I can't really afford a freeze dryer, even though it would be sweet. Then I'd spend more money on food, okay, because then I'd want to freeze dry everything. But if you have any other ideas, I would love to hear about it. I'd love for you to share it with the people that comment and view the video. You don't have to clip coupons. You just have to spend a little bit of time looking at the sale papers and planning out what you want to stock your pantry and your freezers with, okay? So I hope everyone's having a really great night. Remember, we're in our final week for the 23 quart Presto Pressure Canner giveaway, and I hope that you all send in a postcard. The information is in the verbiage below. We will talk to you again tomorrow, where I have absolutely no idea what we're going to discuss, but we will. I'll see you then. Bye.